friends! Tis the season, am I right? No, not Christmas, at least not yet. I'm talking about pumpkin spice season. It has been many years since I've had a pumpkin spice latte. For one, I've been on keto since 2017. And for two, I guess, I've been dairy-free for 5 years now, almost 6. And in case you didn't know, because I know some vegans even that don't know this until I bring it up, the pumpkin spice latte at Starbucks anyways, not vegan. The syrup has milk in it. Really sorry to burst your bubble, but it's true. Anyways, I have been denied the right to be basic for far too long. So I decided that this year I was going to try to find a good recipe for a keto but also dairy-free pumpkin spice latte that I could make at home. And I found one that looks pretty promising. So I'm going to try to make it today and I want you guys to follow along with me. As always, whenever I find a recipe online, I'm going to be posting a link in my description to that recipe because I tend to kind of stray and not do things exactly as they're written out. And so I want to give you the chance to do it exactly as the person that created it intended. And also, of course, give credit where credit is due because I did not create this recipe. So without further ado, let's get our pumpkin spice on. Definitely tastes much more natural, much more like actual pumpkin. I would use a different sweetener though, maybe. Some vanilla stevia in this I think would have been a better choice than the allulose that the recipe calls for. But it's really good and it hits the spot. Okay friends, it's been a couple days and I have some thoughts. I didn't want to leave the video as it was because to be honest, I didn't love the recipe when I first made it and I don't want to put out a recipe that I wouldn't recreate myself. So I started tweaking it. I made it a second time and actually it is delicious now. So let me tell you what I did differently. I created it exactly the same way. In fact, I made extra so that I could have it on hand because the recipe says that up until a certain point, you can keep it in the fridge and then when it comes time to serve, you just add in the milk, etc. from there on out and voila, pumpkin spice latte. So what I did to make it perfect to my liking anyways, is that I added the same amount of allulose that the recipe asks for, but when it comes time to serve, I also shake a few drops of monk fruit liquid into it, and that brings just the right amount of sweetness to counteract the spice. And speaking of spice, something else I changed is that I added the same amount of pumpkin spice that the recipe called for, but I also threw in a few extra shakes of just plain cinnamon. All of that together bumped up the flavor enough where it starts to almost feel as artificial as the Starbucks stuff. And if what you're going for is a proper recreation, then it's perfect, it's spot on. Something else I discovered, it's even better cold. So I made coffee instead of espresso, which I prefer the taste of it with coffee. It's no longer a latte if you use coffee instead of espresso, but I'm not exactly a purist, obviously. So I make coffee, I let it cool down, I refrigerate it overnight, and then in the morning, I mix in my pumpkin spice puree, I guess. Add in the almond milk, the coconut milk, the little bit of monk fruit. I whiz it all together with my little latte stirrer thing. Delicious. Who needs Starbucks? I'm literally never buying a pumpkin spice latte again when I can make this one this yummy at home. And totally dairy-free, totally keto friendly. This is definitely going to be in heavy rotation this year at my house. 10 out of 10 would recommend. As a matter of fact, if you make this recipe and you decide that there's some tweaks that I should try along with it, let me know in the comments what works for you. I would love to hear how you make this your own. What's your favorite holiday drink? We all love a PSL obviously, but is there any other drink order that you're particularly excited about during the holidays? Let me know in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, I hope you'll please give it a big thumbs up. I'd also love it if you'd subscribe and click that notification bell because I post at least 3 times a week and I wouldn't want you to miss a minute. Thanks so much again for watching. Bye!